How's everybody doing? I wanted to come into the house and show you some of these picks from this week. Had a great time reselling Saturday, even though I had about an hour and a half. So Saturday morning, actually late Friday night, I get a message from a friend. Shout out to my buddy Hutch, another reseller and picker. He sent me a screenshot of a church yard sale. And that was a late Friday night, and I did the show late Friday, and I had to get up early to go to Knoxville to an AAU tournament for my daughter, but I still had a little time, so I got up super early, had to leave my house by 9, but I got up at 6:30 so I could hit that yard sale that opened at 7, and I made it. Well, I was hoping to see Hutch there, trying to get some video, and again, I videoed, and we'll have to edit and cut all this stuff together because it was it was interesting to say the least. My video skills are slowly getting better, but I got a long way to go, but we'll get there. But I did want to show you a few picks and some things that came in this week. This come in from District, from First Class Treasures and Dibdit. If y'all aren't sourcing on there or buying on there, we need more buyers. So we just need collectors because you can get stuff cheap. And another shout out to Hard Rock Resales. I got this in the mail this week along with a ton of other stuff. Some stuff I've already flipped, even right back on District. So check it out. Check out the affiliates. Shout out to Jack's Clothing, my girl. Got this in the mail this week. Can't wait to list it. You see it says Rad. Picked this up for a couple bucks. Maybe, I think Keith from Vintage Sports Flips was bidding against me on this, my good buddy. And I think I won it. I maybe even went to maybe 8. I can't remember for certain. But if you don't know, now you know. The throwback hats are where it's at. Picked this up on Dibdit Threads. This is autograph, folks. I haven't even looked at this. I got it out of the box. I had so much other stuff to mess with that I haven't had a chance to even look at the signatures on this, but that's all PGA players. Tiger Woods was there that year. I'm gonna have to make these out. If I already had it pinpointed, I would have showed you. I know it's really hard to get close to them, but this thing's full of hats, man. Or full of signatures, I mean, on this hat. So that's a rad find. Another shout out to Jack's Clothing, who had the Tigers. As you know, I'm a Detroit Tigers fan. Will be for life. Grew up 40 miles from Detroit, and that Tigers hat is awesome. I'm gonna keep that one. That's for the rad. At the church yard sale, walked up. I was there early, like all yard sales. There were people already there. I was there 10 till 7. It opened at 7. There was all sorts of people. Hutch was already gone. Later, after filming, I was there 30 minutes or so. I realized I had a text from him said, "Don't even bother. That yard sale doesn't have anything." And I joke, he don't care if I say this. We talk about it all the time. When you're out there picking, you think, "Oh man, there's more resellers," or "There's so much competition." I said in my short video, you are your only competition. There's stuff, you'll see stuff other people won't see. Maybe somebody put something out that they've been holding back on. But this is one of those items, the lady was putting it out. It was the only item on the table, or one of them. That is a Citizens Echo Drive. And I said, "How much for the watch?" Because I'm a decent watch seller, especially on the wholesale market. And she said, "Make an offer." And I started to say $2, and I felt a little bit bad. I mean, probably would have sold it for that, but I said, "I'll give you $5." She said, "Take it." That watch right there has a brand new with tag. $192 is what that watch costs brand new, and it's brand new with tags. So I will list that for $120, $150. I'll let you know if that sells. Also, that same table, I looked down, and I've been filming with my phone, and I've had several GoPros and sold them. But I looked down and check it out. I know it's just a Hero 5. I think they're up to 11 or 12 now. I don't even know. But that baby's open box with the chesty. You know these chesties alone, and that is a GoPro brand. That's a $50 to $75 item alone. You might be able to pick one up somewhere for $25, but these are not cheap. I got the GoPro and the chesty for $15. Did go to a table with knives. I wholesale knives on the District app. Certain knives go really good, so I try to find dollar knives. but this guy wouldn't go any lower. I didn't even barter. I only bartered with one thing at that entire church sale. But this is a Stone Cold Steve Austin knife, and I've not seen one. There was no other comps out there that I could see. Pick that up for 15 bucks. I'm positive I'm going to get 80 bucks, no doubt. Then I leave that yard sale. I got more Louis L'Amour books and stuff. You can see those in my shorts. It ended up being a pretty good, whatever that was, a half hour I was there, 45 minutes. Then I go to Knoxville, watch my daughter play, and before I go home, I get on Facebook Marketplace and I check for local yard sales. And sure, lo and behold, there were two, and we took off towards one. It wasn't very far from the gym. On the way there, we saw a sign, and it wasn't the yard sale I was headed to. But my daughter doesn't care. She knows I like to pick. So she gave me the grace to pull up there, and we pulled up to a pretty interesting house. Wasn't one you really want to walk up to. Looked like they had sales all the time. There's stuff laying off the road, but never underestimate where you're at and who has treasures. I bought a bunch of jeans for $1 a piece, Levi's, $1 a piece. If you know, you can flip Levi's all day long. Not a fast sell-through rate, but you can sell them live quickly. So $1 for blue jeans is a steal. But at that yard sale, I saw this. He had $10 on it. And I said, I'll give you $5. That is real cow hair. That's a real cow skin and cow hair ST wallet. And these will go anywhere from 60 to 100 bucks. So 5 into at least 60, pretty good pickup. But the gem of the day, after I left that yard sale, I got the Levi's. At the same yard sale, they had $10 on this. I just looked at it, didn't even comp anything. Look at that, it had TJ Maxx on it. When I saw that, I was like, I don't care if that's TJ Maxx or not. That looks really cool. If nothing else, I'll put it up on my shelf and keep it at the house. And I offered him $5. He accepted. I looked for comps. There was only one sold for $75, and there was probably about 10 listed for $175. So you can't always go by the listing. I know people will look. People even use that trying to sell stuff. They'll say, look, it goes for this on eBay. The listing doesn't matter. You got to filter down to the sold. Check out the sold comps. That's what we in the biz call the comps. And still 75 bucks, 5 into 75. I'm going to sit on that a little bit, and I'm going to try to get big money out of that. If I can, be that patient. So we left there, and we went to the yard sale that was open till 3. It was now 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I knew if there's anything left, I'll get a good deal. And in the ad, it said Pokemon cards. If you don't know, Pokemon is red hot right now. Shouldn't tell all the secrets, but it comes and goes. You know, one night on a live show, I killed it. I absolutely flipped Pokemon from 15 bucks into $110 profit in an hour. And then the next night, I bought some more and broke even. So it doesn't always work out where you think, you sell something. Let's say you have an item, and I have this purse, and it sells at live auction online, and I bought it for $5. It sells for $50. So I go out and buy 10 more of these because I'm going to turn 5 into 50 tomorrow night times however many of these I can pick up. And then you go pick these up, and next thing you know, you sell them for $7 a piece. It's not as easy as just get more product, double your profit. It ebbs and flows. It's like the stock market. Supply and demand. Sometimes you can flood the market. I was selling Atari games and selling them live. My cost of goods was somewhere around $1 for video games, or $2, and I was getting 3 or 4 plus $1 shipping. So if I move 20 real quick, it's not a ton of money, but in an hour, you got to think if you can make 60 bucks in an hour plus your shipping, probably 2 hours, okay, $30 an hour. It's not great, but you're also keeping the revenue flowing, keeping your name out there. It's part of the marketing. So I was doing that. And then some nights I'd make really good profit. I might profit $100 an hour plus my shipping time. But then they get so many of those games, the same buyers are in there, but they have that game. It's not as exciting because I can relate it to baseball autographs. When I was a kid, if I could have got Don Mattingly to sign a baseball or to find one even, you would have felt like, you found the Ark of the Covenant. I mean, it would just been like a home run. But now with the internet, you can find 100 of them, and you're going to find desperate people maybe on eBay or another auction site. And there's so much availability now that excitement in the feeling, the need to have it now, to buy it now, or you may miss out, is now gone. Because now, like, Pete Rose baseball, he signed so many. There's so many available. Now they're worth $25, where you go back 20 years ago, that same item might have been $500. So the internet's a good thing and it's a bad thing in reselling because of availability. So if you can find unique items, you're not going to run into one of these every day of the week. So this may be more valuable than maybe a baseball card or, some sort of sports autograph. But needless to say, back to that last yard sale, I looked in and the kid had Pokemon. He wanted a little too much in my opinion. I don't know a lot about him. And he had a box there and he wanted $30, and it was kind of a gamble. He had them lotted up in Ziploc bags, and I probably could have went through them. There's probably that value if you sold card for card, but I'm a kind of a wholesaler on that side of my business, is wholesale. So it's not worth it to me, in my opinion, to sit on those cards and try to statically sell them, which means to let them sit there on eBay in a listing without an auction, and then when somebody wants to searches for it, they find your item and they can buy it. You just sit there on a shelf and let it wait for a sale. But anyways, at that yard sale, I found a gem. I don't know a ton about Dragon Balls, but check out the autograph. I didn't even see that when I picked this up. I looked, I said, how much are your video games? That's how much I know about this sort of stuff. I'm starting to learn more and more. The anime stuff is red hot always. And lo and behold, those are the movies, and there's no comps on this. This brand new sealed has excellent comps. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, 80, 100, something like that. There was none with the autograph. This is not sealed. It's unsealed. But as my buddy Hutch said, that is probably a first edition because it's not Blu-ray. So that was a great find. I'm still going to wait this one out. Some of these things, I'm always looking for product to sell fast and live to keep the revenue stream going. But I also sell on eBay. I sell, just started Whatnot last night to sell things like comic books because haven't had a great experience elsewhere. So Whatnot, I'm not making money off them. I'm basically giving them away. I probably should lot them up or at least trade them, but it was a good way to get my name out there again. Again, the Rad Picker. If you've watched this video this far, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I do want to shout out again, and I always will. It may get old to some people, but I will. I'm a loyal person, and people who help me, I will in turn help them. I will treat them the way they treat me and try to go above that if I can. So Jake, J-Rod, thank you very much for all you do. Guys like me who are newbies, nobodies. I mean, we're all somebody, but you know what I mean? In this business, we're unknown, fresh faces. What you do, what you're willing to do for others is awesome. That attracts me, that attracts other people. In turn, hopefully you attracting someone like me who has a heart to help others too will in turn just keep that ball rolling to help each other, man. That's what it's about. That's not just cliche. We're not just saying nice things for clicks. This is the real deal. It's about helping other people. Again, there is no competition except the person staring back at you in the mirror. There's plenty of stuff out there. I don't think Hutch minds me telling that story. That dude knows so much, has offered to come to my house, help me with the computer stuff. It's a joke, and it'll continue to be in it because it's reality. And I got thick skin that I'm awful at the computer stuff, man. Just like simple things like cross-listing, editing videos. Like I get bored really easy. I'd rather go do something else, so I can't. It's hard for me to focus on that. So people like that who would be willing to help you with nothing to gain, Logix. Shout out to Logix, Yearly Man, for making my logo, the Rad Picker. I tried on AI to do it several different ways. It wasn't coming out. And this dude messages me on District and says, hey man, if you ever need help, this is what I do. And I said, great man, what do I owe you? I'll pay you. And he sent a bunch of mock-ups, and I picked one, and it wasn't exactly what I had in my head, but the more I looked at it, I was like, man, that is rad. I like it. That fits. So thank you, Logix. Shout out to all the buyers on the district net, man, on Dibdit and First Class Treasures, Dibdit Threads, the Crooked Spine. I'll always shout out Shane, the Thrifty Flea. The buyers on there that come in, Jot the Dot, all sorts of Mama Bear, you name it, Janisville, Texas Flipper, Iowa Farmer, shout out Clever Finds. You can follow him. Man, I'm gonna miss a million people again. Carter's Retro Quest. All these people that are coming in, buying stuff, that are loyal, PB. All these people that just come in, and I'm sorry, my brain is going blank now. But it is awesome to see you guys come in. Thrift and Mimi, gosh, I could go on and on here, and my brain is like shutting down now. I feel like the pressure. I'm embarrassed in front of my own video. Like I can't remember. But I will shout you out. But thank you all that come in and bid and buy and make each other laugh. My gosh, it's so fun. You got to get over there just for the. Sometimes I go in and I don't have it in my budget to buy. I try to keep myself on a strict budget, because if I just entered a credit card, I would go nuts. I'm impulsive and compulsive, so I tend to just buy. So sometimes when I'm on a budget, I'll just go in a show and watch, and it kills me. I was on Keith's the other day, and I didn't have any in my buying account. I keep a strict buying account, because if I go outside those parameters, it's Katie bar the door, because I'm gonna have. I joke, I'll have glow in the dark rings on, cowboy hats, furry vest. That's just me. I'm a buyer by nature and a collector. But I was in Keith Vintage Sport Flips. Check him out in his live, and this guy brings absolute heat. I mean, there's stuff, and he put up a 3-picture sports photos, and one was Jim Abbott, and I'm a Michigan fan. Jim Abbott was the Major League Baseball player who went to the University of Michigan. He was a pitcher, and he's missing part of his arm. So when he threw, he'd take the glove and put it on the other hand. So to make it to the major leagues, for one, just to have that little disability that he overcame is an inspiration to me. And then he's a Michigan man. So I saw that. I'm like, God, I just got to get this. And thankfully, Keith let me get that. But those are the types of things that are on there. And it amazes me, because friends of mine, if you're watching this, or if you're a stranger, get on district.net right now. And in district, there's all these little markets, and they're run by different people. And J Ride Flips has First Class Treasures in there, and you can sell really almost anything you want. Ideally, I think it was started for smaller trinket items, or things under a pound, but it's grown into also do sell clothing on there. And then there's Dibdit. And there's several markets under the Dibdit name. Dibdit Threads, Dibdit Cards, ADH Dave's, Kitchen Marketplace. You got, what was the other one? American Arbitrage. There's several in there. You have to check it out. Like I said, I can't remember all these things off the top of my head. But Shane's got the Crooked Spine. He's niched down into a certain category of books. I would call it fantasy. I don't want to speak out of pocket. You'll have to go check it out, the Crooked Spine. But into things you can niche down into exactly what you're looking for, like an antique market, jewelry, polish and brush was another Dibdit market. There's just so much on there, and it's so fun. And right now, the deals are there because there's people like me who will flip things to keep cash flow going in our business, and I take losses. I've given, deals. Slabbed cards. I lost on every one, for sure. Just crazy stuff. I could go on and on, but I can't say it enough. Get on there. If you're a buyer, seller, collector, reseller, sometimes resell to resale. I bought things on the market and then just turn around and flip it on that. And that happens all the time. And for a profit and sometimes for a loss. There's a standing joke. Just let Scott bid on it and win it because we can buy it next week for a deal. and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. I'm a little vulnerable in that respect. But I was going to show you a couple of things. Sometimes at yard sales, I buy crazy things. But Sunday, there was a quarter yard sale. Everything was a quarter. And your boy got some claws, dudes. If that ain't rad, I don't know what is. For a quarter. Pretty cool. I did pick up at the same yard sale in Knoxville where I got this. I bought a tub of graphic tees. I looked at a few and it's just worth it. I got Disney, Mortal Kombat, Marvel, anime. Really good deal. I'm going to do a live show with those. Just graphic tees. If they're not vintage, graphic tees are touch and go because people want the large sizes. And it's easy to find mediums and smalls, but it's a lot harder to find XLs and double X's. Just remember that all large sizes sell better than the smaller ones. It just is what it is. And men's seems to sell a little bit better than women's clothing. I have not pinpointed why that is, but it is a reality. And someone else can correct me in the comments. But again, I just thought I'd hop on, show you some finds for the week, give you a little encouragement, shout some people out. That's what I do. It's all about helping each other out. Why I'm stuck in this creek, I don't know. Check it out. But I bet we could find some mud bugs in there. For those of you that don't know, crawdads. Yeah. So I'm stuck in the creek, up the creek, without a paddle. These things ain't going to work. There's no webbing in them. Y'all get that? But anyways, thanks again for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, thumbs down. If you don't like the video, tell me what more you want to see. Make fun of me, troll me. I don't care. I got thick skin. But just remember, you start trolling, I'm going to troll back. And I may hurt your feelings. So until next time, stay picking, stay positive, and stay rad. Thanks for watching.